Hey there, it's Jean here, and welcome back to the liminal space. So, I've been thinking about this year in hindsight so far, and this one's been on my mind for a while. I wasn't really sure how to talk about this at first, as I haven't really sat on it, but I think now's a good time. This year didn't turn out the way I expected, and I do know I'm not the only one feeling that. So today I want to talk about a different kind of grief, not about someone or something I lost, but about the life I thought I'd be living by now. The version of me I thought I would be, the plans I made this year, the timeline I was following, and how none of none of it happened. Back in January this year, I left my job. It wasn't a spur of the moment decision. It was really intentional and carefully considered. It was hard to pull out like that from the life I was already comfortable living with. It actually almost felt like I was living on autopilot back then. But I stopped and I thought out what is something I want to pursue. I knew I had to take that leap of faith to create a life that actually fit me and not just not just one that I was, barely tolerating. And part of that decision involved closing the distance with someone I deeply care about. So in February, I flew to Australia to be with my partner, and our plan was for me to stay there for a few months, see what it's like to live day to day together, build small routines, share space. It was something we both wanted, a way to a way to explore what our future might look like in real life, not just over calls or just planning in the water. It's the slow mornings, the grocery runs, hearty dinners, cozy evenings, and I don't know, it just felt right. And for the first time in a long time, I felt calm, like I wasn't just waiting anymore. I was beginning something. I was doing something brave, choosing what I wanted, choosing love, as cheesy as that might sound like, and finally moving forward. It was actually the happiest I've been in a while, and it's a quiet kind of joy, the kind that makes you think, maybe this is what it's like when things finally begin to align. But then life changed course. Just just a few days into my stay, I got the official diagnosis, breast cancer, as I've mentioned in my previous episode, and just like that, everything crumbled. I couldn't even fully process it because one second I was settling in, it was just a few days. Imagine that, and the next I was in survival mode. I was really thankful for my partner who snapped me back to reality. We decided it was best to start treatment as soon as possible, so I had to cut my trip short and flew back to the Philippines almost immediately. I had not even caught up emotionally, but I had to switch gear right away, right then and there. Scans within days of landing, back to back consultations, various tests. It was hectic. Actually, the first month was hectic from the moment I went back. And then chemo. March was the first round of that. And now I'm a few months in, heading to my fifth session, and then surgery, then what comes next, which I'm yet to know. So it depends on the assessment of my medical team. But for my case, it's usually chemo, I believe, and then hormone therapy, which would last for years. And this all happened so fast. And yet I could say right now I'm still catching up with everything emotionally. Physically I already adjusted, but yeah, mentally somehow. Because imagine this, one moment I was picturing weekends at the market, just living beside my partner, finally knowing what it's like to share real life. And then suddenly I was navigating blood tests, portacath insertion, and a calendar filled with chemo cycles. Really, it wasn't just the illness, it was the disruption. It felt like my world halted. It was the moment I realized that my life is actually on pause right now. My body moved into survival mode, but my mind, it kind of lagged behind. Yeah, as I mentioned, it's still catching up. I kept thinking, what just happened? And honestly, some days when I wake up and before I sleep, I still do. There was this version of me I was just starting to become someone braver, someone who dared to hope again, someone who finally felt ready to start over intentionally this time. We'd both fit in, but I didn't get to fully live as her, unfortunately. And that's the part that hurts the most because this grief I'm carrying, it's not about missed goals or delayed dreams. It's not really about being unproductive. It's not even about starting over. It's about saying goodbye to a life I was finally allowing myself to claim, a version of me I was ready to be. And I'm slowly learning to let go of that. I'm slowly learning how to let go of that thing, of that version of me. Letting go of the pressure to keep up, letting go of the guilt of not being productive enough. Well, while I'm on healing phase, letting go of the timeline I had in my head for how this year was supposed to look. And honestly, I don't know yet who I'm becoming now. I'm still on that, moving slowly, on the phase of moving slowly and determining what next course or path I need to take. But I know I'm not who I was in January. That's definitely true. It's definitely a change of things in perspective. Yeah. Grieving is something that wasn't meant, or I mean, grieving is not something I associate with something like this. It was always about the death of someone, but right now it's grieving what never got to be. But this time I'm still leaving space for whatever might come next. Well, if you're also grieving a person or a version of your life that never got to happen, please do know that you're not alone. There's really no timeline for that kind of grief, no guides or blueprint, no easy way forward, but there is space here to feel, to pause, to let go, to begin again, even slowly, even uncertainly. So thanks for listening and being here with me today. And if I find this, if there's something in this episode that resonated with you, feel free to share your thoughts below or even to someone you know. This has been a liminal space, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.